Let me change gears and talk about some inflation questions that we had from the audience. Should the cost of a component in the reserve study increase every year to account for inflation? Yes. We're trying to deal with reality here. We're trying to prepare the association for the future. And the future, we live in an inflationary economic environment. So it is appropriate to plan for things to be more expensive in the future than they are now. So yes, it's best practice to account for inflation. Is the cost of repairs shown in the reserve study for the current year only or already increased for inflation? Good question. In the component list, where we list the components top to bottom, that is by definition current costs. It's in the funding plan that we then inflate those costs out 5 years for the roof project, 7 years for the asphalt project. That's cash flow management. In the component list itself, it's all current costs. Should our dues be raised every year as well to account for inflation? Yes, that's best practice. Everything gets more expensive every year, and you as an organization, to be fiscally responsible and financially healthy, you need to be raising your assessments to account for raising water rates, insurance rates, management rates. Everything gets a little more expensive, so it's a good idea to set your members up to expect that the monthly assessments are going to raise a little bit each year. Why do you choose 3% inflation rate in your reserve study when other averages are showing much higher? Wow. Just last week, I think we heard that the year-over-year inflation rate here in the States was running at about 6%. We're in a very unstable economic environment right now with COVID-19 and supply chain issues. We had an election, a lot of things going on, so we have instability. But we won't have instability for decades. So as we look back, we've gone through a lot of economic cycles in our country. But when we look backwards over 10, 20, 30 years, 3% has been a good stable rate. And so that's what we use in projecting forward for your 20 or 30 year reserve plan.